first quarter, and there's teams that are going to start deciding they're done for the year, and they don't like this player, don't like that player, and they're willing if you call, like that's the thing is I don't have names, Ryan, but I know it happens all the time. All these other teams do it. Like it just doesn't always make headlines, and I'm not saying they got to make headlines necessarily, but you can't just sit on your hands. Is all I'm saying. Like that's got to be the difference here. Is things need to be done, and it can't be the practice squad or the street free agent that's really doesn't have any other game experience, because that's what the last regime did, and it didn't win anything. It doesn't do anything. It makes for nice stories if the guy works out, but that's about it. It don't win you rings, and we're trying to win rings. Aaron Rodgers, 36. He's going to be 36 years old. Okay, like. It's time to stop effing around and hoping and praying that young guys will develop to carry him. Like, that's why we got rid of and made all these changes. So, if we're going to do it, do it. Like, stick to it and do it.
One player that I think could help the defense, specifically the secondary, would be Jalen Ramsey. I know that he's asking for a trade, and I don't know what type of money we would throw at him, but I think it'd be worth a shot.
I'm thinking
we would have to give up way too much.
I'm thinking more like linebacker, another run stuffing, like not him particular, but I'm either thinking like another inside premier linebacker because of the run problems, or I'm thinking like a Snacks Harrison type to match with Kenny Clark, because that's what I'm thinking there. Because to me, like, their corner, they I'm good with all the corners. The secondary ain't the issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's the run defense.
Guys, there's a name here for wide receiver we haven't mentioned.
Go ahead.
And I don't think he costs that much. A.J. Green.
That he could actually be kind of a Randall Cobb type.
Cincinnati's obviously going down the drain. Like they're not going to do anything. That's exactly my point. If he's on track to play in the coming weeks, like projected, then I'd have no problem trading for him. If it's longer than like week 9 or 10, no.
I could see that,
but AJ, I think he would be able to work in this type of offense. And he's kind of familiar with it because where did Zach Keller come from? He came from McVay. McVay came from Kyle Shanahan.
Yep.
That's
familiarity with it.
That's a good point. The Zach Taylor tie in there. That's a good point. But again, with the injury status, how long until he actually could get on the field for the Packers? That's probably still weeks. I think. I feel like I just.
You're weighing risk versus reward with it. I think. So
I mean, let's be okay. So no, keep it real. Do we really think Brian Gutekunst would actually make an in-season change just for a player like that, or any kind of these Emmanuel Sanders or a big name like a Jalen Ramsey, or do we honestly
probably not?
He would actually do it.
Probably not.
If he's gonna live up to all this bravado he's been spreading around about, being aggressive and being in a win now mode, yeah, you better damn right be willing to do that, because that's what cost us not having more than one Super Bowl when we had our opportunity with not giving up a 4th round pick for Marshawn Lynch. It's what's cost us. Like, right now, do you think it'd be nice to have Darren Lee in this defense right now instead of just whoever? That was a 5th round pick, I believe. Like, there's moves.
Kiko Alonso.
Yeah, like there's moves all the time where it's like they get and Brian's been guilty of it. It's like, oh well, I could get this 5th round. Well, yeah, okay, well that's great, but you can always recoup that 5th round or 6th round pick and then double up and get that move up. Like, the draft ain't tomorrow. Like, there's plenty of time if something don't work out, you can try to recoup that pick somehow, and it's not that damn hard. So the excuse for not doing anything is wrong. Like, there's multiple moves, Parker. You'll agree with this, and so will you, Ryan, so will you, Dave, that we can just think off the top of our head where we're sitting there watching these trade deadline shows, and later on, that player ends up helping a team where you're like, God, our team was better than that team. If you had that guy at our team and he does that same kind of thing because our quarterback's better, it's like, who the hell knows what our season could have been like? This situation would have been. That's what's frustrating. So, yeah, you're damn right. I don't know if he will or not, but he's barked a lot. And so is he going to be Mike Daniels or is he going to be Bill Belichick? That's what it is. Because Mike Daniels liked to bark for years from 2013 to all the way up. Well, the defense was going to get out and punch everybody in the mouth. And then every year they're ranked 28. So, Bill Belichick don't say shit. He don't want to talk to the media. He's got 6 rings. So what do you want to be? You want to be Mike Daniels? Talk? No results? Or do you want to start winning rings? That's kind of what it comes down to.
How would you guys feel about Jay Ajayi, still a free agent? That minimum contract.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
I
really
think
a big fan of his, but
knee problems.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's been doing.
I'll say this for him. I think the only way we would be able to get him, or we would try to get him, would be due to the severity of Jamal Williams' injury. Maybe use him as a backup. That's honestly the only way I could see them going after Ajayi. Other than that, I don't really think that we would need him if Williams isn't hurt as bad, because we already have Dexter Williams. But again, I think that the only way we'd get him would be if Jamal Williams would be hurt severely. So I guess we'll have to wait that out. But
yeah, it's too hard to tell without knowing more information on the Jamal Williams injury. I mean, shoot, that year that when Devontae Adams got knocked out against the Bears by that Trevathan.
Oh yeah,
he was in the hospital, and then he ended up playing the next week, ironically, at Dallas.
Yep. And I think didn't he score like 2 touchdowns in that game? I think.
Yeah, he tore it up.
He went on. Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, you just don't know. It's hard to
sure.
Predict at this point. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if Jamal Williams is going to end up being more serious, then we got to start looking at something.
What about what about LaFleur calling his ex-head coach down in Tennessee for a Mr. Humphreys?
They just signed him in the offseason to a pretty sizable contract.
I wouldn't even aim for Humphreys. You know who I'd aim for? Corey Davis.
That's who I...
Didn't we just have him?
They drafted him 2 years ago.
Who?
First round.
Who are we talking about?
Corey Davis.
Yeah, he was drafted 2 years ago, first
2017.
He's being phased out as the number 1 in Tennessee because A.J. Brown's taken over, and I feel like that would lower his value for a draft pick trade and send a couple picks over for Corey Davis and to get a guy in there, because he is so athletically talented, and I feel like he's being so underutilized because of Marcus, I can't tell accurately, Mariota. Trade for him.
See, I knew I would think of somebody. I had the right team, just the wrong wide receiver. Humphreys was just the name that popped in my head.
Gotcha.
He's a little fast.
No, I actually
projected to be the next Edelman.
Yeah, I actually tweeted about Corey Davis, and earlier in the week about how I feel like that's a guy that could possibly be had that is being underutilized, that is actually really talented in my mind. Why he hasn't put it all together, I don't follow Tennessee football enough to know.
They never throw the ball. See, this was funny because everybody was saying that it was all LaFleur's fault that they ran, pass. Oh, LaFleur doesn't know what he's doing. And then they hired him. And then guess what? He leaves, and they're right away, it's all play action. They're bombing the field, down the field. He's got a quarterback he can trust, and it's like just like we thought when their offense, outside of this week, burn this tape. This was Mike McCarthy snuck into the building, put his frickin' Matt LaFleur mask on, kidnapped the coach and threw him in the locker room like a frickin' cheap Hollywood horror flick, and went out there and coached for his life and ended up losing the Packers a game. And Dom Capers did the same thing with frickin' Mike Pettin because he likes to play the same stupid schemes all game, put his hands on his ass.
No, we just got punched in the mouth.
You guys want to know something funny?
What?
So today, this was like before the game started, I ended up getting exactly 7,777 followers. So I tweeted it out. I said, well, I have exactly 7,777 followers right now. Hopefully this is a good sign for Green Bay in the game. And not even 30 seconds after I clicked send, I literally got 2 more followers right after. And I said, oh, well, figures I got 2 more followers right after sending that tweet. And I hope this isn't a bad sign for Green Bay. And we lose. Just saying. Just saying.
So it's Parker Moes' fault. This damn Twitter account and you followers. Whoever you 2 followers are, shame on you. For shame.
Yeah, people are
8,888.
People were in my mentions saying, block them. I was like, oh my God, like they're followers. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't control that. But it was
Kick
just
them
really
off
funny.
the boat.
That
You must walk the plank.
So to play, allowing Amos to go into...
Hey, Parker, you can have him follow me instead. It's cool. I need the extra followers.
Sure, yeah, I got you.
You guys stop begging for followers. Good Lord. Good God. Hey, Nate, all I picture is Dave Chappelle. You need to get any more than followers?
It's like Peter Griffin on Family Guy when they're with Quagmire in Cleveland and he's on Twitter and he goes, unfollow.
Oh, man.
Okay, so how would you feel if Amos fully stepped in that linebacker safety hybrid role next to Blake until Burks gets back? And I'm just saying, I can't believe no one has signed this guy. I understand he's had injury past, but good God, Eric Berry has value there.
Wait, is he still a free agent?
He's unsigned still. He's one of my top 5.
Wow,
they're still unsigned.
I honestly have totally forgotten about Eric Berry and that he's still out there. How is he still out there? First of all, and second of all, why the hell hasn't Green Bay gotten to him?
There's a reason why any of these guys are still unsigned. I mean, come on, guys. Like, if he still had something that people thought that he could contribute, he'd be signed.
True.
The fact that he's still out there and 32 teams have not called, and some of them, there's
even the Patriots.
There's more to it.
You know something's wrong when the Patriots don't call you to come to their team.
How would you feel about Wilkerson coming back, playing alongside Kenny Clark?
That may shore up the pass rush, but I'm not certain it would completely fix it. But I mean, he was a decent player for us.
Well, no, I'm talking about the run defense. Plug him as a D lineman.
Yeah, no, I think he'd be good.
Start spitballing some names, guys, of some guys that you know can play the run. Particular, we don't need help on the pass rush, but particularly
Wilkerson did good in the run defense
run,
when he played for us.
He's got a busted ankle. He's 31 years old. He's done. Okay, that's why he's still on the street. And by the way, he still wouldn't be able to play right now, even if you could sign him, because his ankle injury happened at such where it's so bad he's not athletically ready to even clear medical. So Wilkerson is done. It's over for him.
Take a drink.
Let's get on to players that actually matter besides frickin' Mo Wilkerson and Jordy Nelson. Come on, please.
Drink break.
Okay, here's one. No. Okay, no, seriously, I'm surprised he's still unsigned too on this. Malcolm Smith, he was wasn't he the Super Bowl MVP for Seattle when they beat Denver?
I believe so.
The 49ers let him go, and he is available. Maybe sign him because he's also a good coverage linebacker.
True. And we do need help. Cisco just won that area.
He was just injured too often for them. And sometimes the players just need to change the scenery.
True.
I don't know. None of these names are appealing to me right now.
There's a bunch of names out there right now that we could say, and
yeah,
I mean,
it's not going to happen. I mean,
no,
it's fun to talk about it. I get it.
It is.
It's good for having the banter and the
discussion. Yeah,
it's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
the only